You by UKG Legends Classic. That's the Brooklyn Bridge, and here we are in New York's finest borough, Barclays Center, for a couple of different shades of orange, beginning our Legends Classic. The first meeting of two top 15 freshmen in college basketball this season. It's Texas, the home team, winning the tip. Jeff Clark, Todd Austin, Justin Porterfield are your officials. Syracuse, Texas now, Texas Tech, and St. Joe's to follow. Third place game, title game tomorrow. Should be a great 2 days at Barclays Center. And it begins with a basket from Caden Shedrick, the Virginia transfer, in his second Texas year. Starting lineups are brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. J.J. Starling has been a major scorer, 21 a game for Syracuse. Carlos and Bell, the guards, Freeman and Eddie Lampkin, Colorado TCU transfers. A great passer indeed. He sets up a good look.
You're talking about the leading scorer for the Orangemen is taking it upon himself tonight to guard the likes of Trey Johnson, the leading scorer for Texas. That's a matchup. And does that take his legs away offensively for what he needs to do for the Orangemen?
Well, 6'4" Starling just got burned by the 6'6" Johnson there. A corner three. Deep is 0 for 3 from out there. And the Syracuse fans still standing, as many do, until the first field goal. Carlos deflects it. Freeman couldn't get to it. It's Jordan Pope down to Weaver. Shedrick and a Texas stop. The first 7 to the Longhorns.
50-50 balls.
Lampkin with a quick double team. Kaluma's there. Skips it to Bell, who's missed his first 2. On the deck, Bell is stripped. Shedrick with a takeaway after a couple of early baskets.
Got away with the pull and the hand, but you got to play through it and be strong with the ball for Chris Bell.
Really strong drive. Kaluma just overpowered the first.
This team needs also another wing that can drive and attack downhill.
Here's Jair Davis, Delaware transfer, on the floor for the first time. Starling rattles it in. They can finally sit down. J.J. Starling after 5-3. First 2-point try of the game, and Onyema was there to go straight up and take it away. Julian Larry, Indiana State transfer, down low, and a tough finish by Kaluma. State sets up a missed 3 badly by Carlos. What is Syracuse not doing offensively?
Well, just because you're open doesn't mean that you have to shoot it.
Mark does. First shot attempt of the year for the preseason All-SEC, Tremont Mark.
And Kevin, what I mean by that is if you're open at the 3-point line, take a couple of dribbles in, shoot a mid-range jumper, try to get to the rim. Mix it up.
Bell is fouled by Kaluma. He'll shoot 2.
Calvin Sampson. 2 different styles of basketball, but I'll tell you one thing.
An ankle injury, Mark. Ronnie Terry told me no minutes restriction today. He'll be out there as long as he can help us win the game. Free throw good for Bell, and it's 14-4. Texas without Jason Kent today, 6'8" from Indiana State, who's played well off the bench, got a wrist injury, so he'll miss at least a couple of games, but they get Mark back. Shedrick against McLeod, leaning in, taken away. Offensive rebound for Weaver. And a whistle on the way down. Kendall Weaver has made himself a real fan favorite. Junior from
to play, Ron Holland. You think about what that team could have been last year. Had a very small
round picks. Davis trying to spin around Shedrick. Jair Davis into traffic. McLeod swats it to himself. McLeod goes up strong and scores it. This is the last 18.
It still has a nice touch. That was long, but also you think about putting him at the backbone of the zone. I mean, just his size and his reach can deflect shots at the rim and also deter passing lanes.
7'4", 265, McLeod.
Got to hit Paluma in the middle.
He's flashing. He's got it. He rises, and he gets fouled. McLeod can't believe it, but they found the
7'8" wingspan from the middle of that zone. It makes it difficult.
Only 5 for Kaluma, 64% from the field to start the year, and hits both free throws.
Defensive player and also taking what the game gives to him.
Ronnie Terry said, I told him he didn't need to score. He needs to be a double-double guy every game.
Yeah, well, if he wants to get to the NBA, you're going to get to the NBA by really dominating your role, which is getting double-digit rebounds.
Nice tip in there. Davis sneaks in off the miss from the freshman Elijah Moore.
I thought Coach Autry told us they weren't going to run zone in the back, huh?
That's right. Jim Boeheim smiling somewhere up in central New York. Larry, Texas had a little bit of trouble penetrating the zone. They'll find Kaluma again, though. There's a great feed, and Onyema
65-70% of the shots you're taking here in the first half, in the opening 10 minutes of the game, are from the three-point line. You got to figure out other ways to attack the rim.
Larry from Kaluma. Out for Mark. Good look three. Got it. 2 threes off the bench in Trevon Mark's season debut.
Dog.
His first miss. High pointed by the freshman Moore. Into Lampkin, got position, and an easy finish plus a foul on Onyema. Hung onto it for a little long. Moore gets it back from Lucas Taylor, Georgia State transfer. Lampkin against the freshman Jamie Vincent. Johnson comes to double, gets a hand on it. Lampkin's in trouble. The outlet is Davis, who will score it.
By crashing into him first, throwing him off of balance.
Weaver.
It's a walk.
Got away with it. Johnson to the rim. Two-handed away by Lampkin and a whistle. Adrian Autry straight up as straight up can be. Ball don't lie again.
This is one now in that zone. They feel way more rejuvenated and energized, and we've seen them in
a transfer from somewhere like a Hofstra, Delaware, and then you go to the Dome and you see 20,000 people every game. It takes time to adjust to that. Lampkin.
I love it.
Davis again. He has been hyperactive on. He thought he was fouled.
Good defense.
Pope, he might have shuffled two. And then Pope sticks it for two. Have led throughout.
There we go.
Moore knocked away. Here's Jordan Pope, the Oregon State transfer.
Oh.
Larry steps through and scores. The long legs of Julian Larry.
It received a lot of flack because obviously they lost the game. But with Malawach and company, I mean, 2 guys with DMPs who are top 25 recruits. John Shire has a plethora of talent on that team.
There's a 3-4.
Heck of a ball game.
Great start for them.
I mean, talk about not having one recruit on your roster when you start and having to bring in a ton of transfers and reset your culture. He's done an exquisite job this far.
There's the first basket for Donnie Freeman. Disrupted a little bit more defensively with a mix of man and zone.
You know, if you're running, you can still run your man-to-man offense against the zone. You just got to screen the high side of the zone.
Larry found himself with a little bit more daylight. Finishes over Lampkin.
But why? He came to a jump stop, utilized the ball fake. The defense reacted, and that's how you beat the zone.
2 for 2 off the bench for Julian Larry. Lampkin just stuck by Onyema. The big man, coast to coast, lands it in. Moore will only hit 1 shot from the field, 1 for 4. Freshman at 23.5 per game so far. Into Kaluma. Boy, that's pretty.
That's a pro-like offensive move. Reverse pivot, fade away over the length of Lampkin. Big-time talent there by Kaluma.
And a grown man first half for him. 5 straight for Texas after the little Syracuse surge.
So you need to give the ball to Lampkin down low. He's calling for it. He has the size.
Freeman steps into it and scores. Donnie Freeman shuffling his way in for another 2.
Hey, like
Freeman wants it again. Moore will take it instead. And break a 3. Punched away. Great recovery by Onyema. Transfer from UTEP, who's given them some great performances early. The spin from Johnson into Lampkin and finishes strong.
Oh, my.
With maybe Kaluma playing the 5 right now. Mark pushed all the way out to the half-court line by Freeman, who recovers. And then Pope strokes the jumper. Largest lead for Texas at 16.
And Jordan Pope shooting 25. Once again, a guy understanding where his strengths are, shooting 25% from the three-point line. But Jordan Pope just get into that sweet spot. He's made 2 mid-range shots, just taking the dribble on the court. And you hear a lot of pros talk about doing this. Get yourself into
2 for 2 for Bell.
That Texas is running for him. He is nonstop running. The communication it takes for JJ is constant. I feel like that's taking away a little bit of his legs on the offensive end.
Johnson's got it right now. One-on-one against Starling. Pro move.
Big move. That's a big guard. That's a 6'6" guard just shooting over the top of a guard who's 6'4".
That's a freshman.
I'm sure Carmelo's watching saying, damn, that reminds me of me.
Bell with a chance for 3. Doing that 4 for 18 from 3 coming in. Last year, if his 3 wasn't going, he really wasn't going. So a little bit more balance to his game. The shots have not been falling yet.
What did you say during shoot around today? Like if Chris Bell has a game where he's 6 of 10 from the 3-point line, you feel like Syracuse is going to win. But if he has a game where he's 1 of 10, no way.
And he's had both. Kaluma leans in high off the window.
Oh my
Starling.
That was a tough shot.
Save to Carlos. On the leak ahead, here's J.J. Starling with his stuff.
I mean, this and 5 turnovers.
Shedrick knocked on the way up, lost it. Here comes Starling. 3 seconds between shot and game clock. It's deflected right back to Starling.
Well, it got deflected because he telegraphed it. He looked right where he was passing the ball.
That will go down as only Texas's 3rd turnover. Syracuse with 5. Into the dying moments of the first half, that has been owned by the Longhorns. Starling, Freeman catch and shoot. Hey, rattles it home for 3. Donnie Freeman gives Syracuse a lift heading into the break. 7 points for the freshman. An impressive first 20 for Texas, but a little bit of life near the end. 3 for 9, 11 assists, only 3 turnovers for Texas, who's 3rd in the nation in turnover rate. And we'll start the second half on defense. What can the Orange do to get better shots this half?
Well, they need to start playing inside out. 12 field goals made in the first half, 9 of them in the paint. So not settling and just being content with 3-point shots and taking care of the ball.
Yeah, that was inside, too far out. Lampkin turns it over.
In those schemes defensively, plugging the gaps, breaking down from the weak side. Just doing the little things you need to do to be a great defensive team.
Kaluma with patience and precision, up to 12 points. He just looks like he's playing at a different speed than almost anybody else on the floor.
I mean, it just looks Shedrick just fighting to stay on top of it.
Carlos, nice take by Jaquan Carlos. He opens his account.
By the way, that bucket was made available by Lampkin. Shedrick should have been there coming from the middle, but Lampkin kind of had him on the top side, pushed him out towards the other side of the court. Better removed by the big.
Weaver. A 3-pointer set up by Jordan Pope for Kendall Weaver.
Execute when it matters the most down the stretch because of experience. And that is now what Kentucky basketball is.
Donnie Freeman muscling his way to the bucket. The freshman Freeman, 4 for 5 for the field. Julian Larry off the bench. Kaluma, space to operate, steps inside, and scores it. Another basket, that's 14. Lampkin. All right.
Did he call it? No, he didn't call it. That's why he stuck his tongue out. He didn't call glass. More of a quarter-court defense.
Davis and the Lampkin got 3 and scored it, plus a foul. The Orange back within single digits for the first time since it was 20. Play, Jay.
It's a humbling experience, man.
Syracuse can make this a 2-possession game. Bell off a Lampkin screen. Carlos doesn't get it to him.
There you go.
Starling. Andy Lampkin lights the scoreboard up for a 7-0 Syracuse. Has been to the tournament with 2 teams, TCU, Colorado. Some zone out of the Texas timeout shown by the Orange. Kaluma's, he's been the playmaker all day.
Good job by Chris Bell. Oh, Chris Bell was there. He tagged down and then he released, and he should not have released.
Very easy bucket for Shedrick. His first point since very early in the game. Back to 8 for the Longhorns. Starling. Lampkin, great distributor, could try to operate here. Into the body of Shedrick. Lampkin, double team, inside, and the finish for Davis. Kaluma rises, no good, long rebound, grabbed by J.J. Starling. Starling pushing tempo. Bell, that's his spot. That's his shot. That was Kaluma's second. A lot of this without Freeman on the floor. Jair
walk him down again.
Shedrick hits the
Good
deck.
call.
Yeah, Lampkin just floats it over him. 1 point game. Lampkin wanted to be involved again. Starling. Rebound Davis. Still working his tail off and foul. Jeff Clark with a whistle from the perimeter there. It's Kaluma with his third. And free throws. Jair Davis, career 73% free. Delaware. 22 in his Syracuse debut against Lemoyne, then 8, then just 1. Laterally telegraphed by Bell. Starling collects it. Starling slashes, rejected by Shedrick, and then Davis takes a hard foul. He'll go back to the line with 4 to shoot.
Inside the paint.
The fourth on Onyema, the backup big, and that was not a... Another miss. 5 for 12 at the line in a game Syracuse trails by 2. A story that Orange fans are all too familiar with. Weaver. And he rolls it home.
He's super athletic, right?
Orange have made 2 substitutions in the half. Davis for Freeman at 15:58. Carlos for Taylor at 9:55. Starling's played the whole half, and he rolls it in. He's into double figures, the third Orange to get there, and it's a 2-point game. Starling, Bell, and Lampkin have played every second of the second.
I would keep using Shedrick and ball screens. Lampkin is tired.
Pull. Shedrick trying to take it away from Lampkin, and Starling there to recover. Starling! And this game is tied for the first time.
Ball screen.
Trying to shake Johnson free. He is free, and he misses another. Weaver keeps it alive for Kaluma. Shot fakes galore and a foul. Boy, Kendall Weaver just makes the right play. Kaluma with Texas's first free throw attempt of the half. Carter, terrific player for the Chicago Sky. 4th overall pick. This is back on top by 2. 5.5 to go. First of our doubleheader. Lampkin into Shedrick. Lampkin playing bully ball. Weaver comes over for the double, and there is a foul. And it's double bonus time for Syracuse. Eddie Lampkin can give the Orange their first lead.
Keep going back to the well.
For the night, actually. Eddie Lampkin's getting his name chanted. Lampkin gets the second. They trailed by 6. Johnson has not hit a shot in the second half. He is still trying to operate for Texas, and finally he scores.
That's a pro move. Over the right shoulder, fade away.
He's made 2 substitutions in the whole half, none since 9:55, and his team down 16 at one point is now back on top as Lampkin delivers to Starling.
That is how you execute for an ATO.
61-60 to the Orange over the Burnt Orange. Weaver out of control, finds Johnson. Missed 10 in a row, and he missed that one. Weaver, who else on the offensive glass?
Hands on those second chance opportunities.
9 of his 10 in the second half. Kendall Weaver. Here's Bell, a 3, no. Rebound down to Jordan Pope. Been the starting 5 for a long time now for Texas. Pope all alone. Why not? Texas up 16 in the second half. What a comeback by the Orange. We'll see if they have enough left to force overtime or to win it. Out of timeout, 2 to play. It's Starling operating. A high screen for Lampkin. Starling with no real outlet. He'll get it back from Bell deep in the clock. A deep 3, no good. And then Davis gets fouled, crashing the glass.
That's a foul on Kaluma.
That'll be his 4th. This is 1 out of 4. The half, Carlos in for Bell. Davis goes 2 for 2. 73% career. He can hit those. It's a 1-point game. We have another basketball game coming up, believe it or not. Texas Tech at St. Joe's a half hour after this, waiting patiently Shedrick spinning around on Davis. We have a travel.
I've been talking about it the whole game. Davis,
who has played almost the whole second half. Donnie Freeman came out early and has not re-entered. 90 seconds to go. 1-point game in Brooklyn. Bell's back on the floor.
Gave it to him.
Lampkin wanted it. Starling slashing. Starling spinning. Starling short. Kaluma with a double-double, and Texas with a chance to take the air out of this game a bit. They've got 2 timeouts. Syracuse 1. Johnson against Starling. He's defended him really well in the second half, but a foul there. It'll be a 1-and-1 for Trey Johnson, the 9th.
But they've been allowed to be physical the whole game. And my big thing is
hits them both. Leads back to 3, and Texas takes Carlos on the floor with Davis, Starling, Bell, and Lampkin. Starling, Weaver's all over him. Halfway through the clock, they tried to set up Bell. Lampkin, and that was kicked. So nothing doing in the first 18 seconds of this possession. The kick will. Carlos looking his way. Threw it away. Careless turnover. Critical turnover for Syracuse.
I mean, Chris Bell had the corner 3 if he had just flared towards the corner. He flared the opposite way.
So that's more on the receiver than the passer there, you think?
They don't need the foul. They need to get a stop.
Now, if you don't get a stop, it effectively ends the game. 11-second shot, game clock, and there's a foul. It's called on Starling out high. Johnson
early. Maybe he thought his man was going to try to cut that corner, but you still could have got it.
Johnson 2 for 2. It's a 5-point game. Texas on the verge of survival here. Starling charging into Weaver. Starling with another big basket. That's what he did all second half.
I think he's going to go deep.
Pope.
Yep.
Texas does have a timeout into Johnson. Around the double team. Threw it away. Then Starling hits the deck. Carlos does not have a timeout. And he's fouled by Kaluma. Oh, a Texas throwaway. And free throws coming for Syracuse. And Kaluma has fouled out of the game.
Oh, just be strong with the ball. He tries to throw a wraparound pass.
4 for 8 on the year, and he misses
this one. Make this one and then apply the same pressure.
He does. Mark has come on for Texas with a 2-point lead.
Don't need the foul right away. You catch the ball in one of the 4 corners. Trap. You got to get there.
It was a quick foul, and it's on Lucas Taylor, so Johnson can. Poised.
He doesn't look phased at all for the last possession.
2-possession game. Yep.
See the way he was talking to himself?
Syracuse has to score very quickly. Taylor for 3. That's no good. Rebound Pope. Texas hangs on for dear life. What an opening act here in Brooklyn. A 16-point lead erased. And then the Longhorns get it back and hang on for a 70-66 thriller over Syracuse.